Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses sing.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, now way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Well, you've been out to sea so long, you want to sit and listen to the reggae song. But there is work that must be done in the hot and blistering sun. Well, chip that paint and slush down that mast. You'll broil as long as the job does last. And it does no good to complain about the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, now way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Well, it rains hard, but not for long, but long enough to make everything else go wrong. All that's sanded is wet on the boat, just when the bright work needs another coat, and then the power is shorted out. You don't know whether you should cry or if you should shout. The only three things you can explain, they are the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, now way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Well, in the evening when the work is done, that's the time you can go out, look for some fun. Buy $1 bottle of rum, have a drink and give your mate some. Another bottle, maybe 2 or 3 more. The crew is happy but knows what's in store. Tomorrow morning there will be some great pain because of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, now way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Whee!
All right. Here we are on Horses Sing None of It, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ralph Lippman. The name of the show is Horses Sing None of It. I already said that.
I guess so.
And the guest here who's patiently allowing me to play the keys and the paper bag along with his Calypso song is Rick Nestler. Welcome to the show, Rick.
Thank you very much,
Nice to
Ralph.
have you.
It's nice to be had.
Rick is a A captain, you said, a licensed skipper?
Yep, merchant marine skipper.
Merchant marine.
Only 100-ton license, though. It's kind of a
Only
small
up to
one.
100 tons.
I can drive boats up to 100 tons.
That sounds big to me.
Well, it's about the size of sloop Clearwater or.
Funny you
some of
should
those
mention
schooners
that.
Oh yeah, is it?
You have something to do with the sloop Clearwater, I think, yes?
Oh, I've worked as a. I've worked on the Clearwater as a first mate, the second mate, the onboard educator. I'm applying for the captain's position now, but I also play a lot of benefits for, like the Great Hudson River Revival, and I basically spent a lot of time on the boat working hard to try and clean up the environment.
Well, good, good. Good luck getting that captain's position there.
Well, I hope I get it. We'll see.
That sounds like fun.
Well, it's a lot of work. It can be fun, but it's also a lot of work. It's not all fun and games on the good sloop Clearwater.
And that song you did, that was one of your composition?
Yes, it was. I wrote it when I went down to St. Thomas via Bermuda on a schooner called the Voyager from Mystic, Connecticut. It was. We had an interesting time going down there. We waited for a good nor'easter to blow in so it'd blow us right down to Bermuda and St. Thomas, and it blew us down there all right. We had, well, the way the navigator put it, we had, well, the first morning we got up, we had 20-knot winds that moderated all the way up to 55 knots, and 10-foot seas that got all the way up to about 35-foot seas. So we got bounced around a bit, and we had to do some repair work on the boat. And down in St. Thomas is where we had to do it, and that's when I wrote the song.
Uh-huh. That sounds a little bit scary, sailing in seas like that.
Well, it's not really scary. I trusted the boat, I knew the boat, and I knew a lot of the people who were on the boat sailing as crew and watch captains, and I trusted all of them. It was more awe-inspiring than anything else. I mean, when I hear these kids go, "Awesome, man," I sit back and I think about seeing a wave about the size of the apartment house I was living in at the time rolling at the back end of the boat every 17 seconds or something like that. It was pretty wild. It was pretty awe-inspiring.
I guess so. Well, you want to sing us another song?
Well, sure. I'm going to bring it a little closer to home. This is a song I just wrote. I wrote it for the anniversary of the Little Red Lighthouse that sits underneath the George Washington Bridge. If you ever read the kids' story, Little Red Lighthouse and the Great Gray Bridge, the Little Red Lighthouse refers to a Jeffreys Point lighthouse. And this is the story of it. Out on Jeffreys Point, on a little slip of land, underneath the Great Gray Bridge, Little Red Lighthouse stands. Brought up from New Jersey many years ago, to point out to the mariners where you should not go, for the rocks off Jeffreys Point cannot always be seen. They'll rip the keel right from your hull and open up your seams. Fabricated from cast iron, it was built to last through summer's sweltering, shimmering heat and winter's icy blast. Through the fog, the rain, the sleet, the dark, the snow, it did shine bright. But now the beacon's darkened and the doors are locked up tight, for the river channel's marked by lights that hang from the roadway. There's no need for Jeffreys Point to cast its loom today. From Sandy Hook to Jeffreys Hook, served its purpose well. How many lives it did save, there is no way to tell. But now she is no longer an aid to navigation. Now she is used as an aid to education, for the perils of this life cannot always be known. In saving our history, we see how we have grown. So out on Jeffreys Hook, on a little slip of land, underneath the Great Gray Bridge, Little Red Lighthouse stands.
All right.
Yep.
It's Story of Jeffrey's Point Lighthouse.
Yeah, that little red lighthouse, actually, it was built and put out on Sandy Hook. Right out where they have that big lighthouse now. It was called the Outer Lighthouse because it was right up on, it was north of the present lighthouse. It was all the way out on the point. And then they took it down, and in the 20s, I believe, they put it up in off Jeffrey's Hook there.
Sounds like quite a project, moving a lighthouse.
Well, it was prefabricated. It was like prefab construction.
So they just took it apart.
So
the
I
same
guess
way
they just took it
together.
apart and put it up there again. It's all riveted. You can, if you get up there, if you get a chance to see it, it's in Riverside Park, and it's all riveted. It's got big rivets that hold it together. It's cast iron.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's share a little song here we went over.
Okay.
Stolen by Woody Guthrie, I think.
Could have been.
I'm walking down the road feeling bad. Walking down the road feeling bad. I'm walking down the road feeling bad. Oh Lord, ain't gonna be treated this way. I was way down in jail on my knees. I was way down in jail on my knees. I was way down in jail on my knees. Lord, Lord, ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going where the water tastes like wine. Going where the water tastes like wine. I'm going where the water tastes like wine. Lord, Lord, I ain't gonna be treated this way. Pick one, Rick. Yes, I'm walking down the road feeling bad. I'm walking down the road feeling bad. I'm walking down the road feeling bad. Lord, Lord, ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm gonna get me some $10 shoes, 'cause them $2 shoes hurts my feet. Yes, them $2 shoes hurts my feet. Lord, Lord, I ain't gonna be treated this way. And I'm going where the weather suits my clothes. I'm going where the weather suits my clothes. I'm going where the weather suits my clothes. Lord, Lord, ain't gonna be treated this way. Pick the banjo. Going back those two rubber shoes. I'm gonna get rid of them $2 shoes. I'm gonna get me some $2 shoes. Lord, Lord, ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm walking down the road feeling bad. Lord, Lord, I'm walking down the road feeling bad. Yes, I'm walking down the road feeling bad. Lord, Lord, ain't gonna be treated this way.
All right. Thanks for helping out on that, Rick. Sounded pretty good.
That's an old favorite of mine. Yeah.
Yeah. We sang that at the Folk Alliance.
Yeah, we did, among other things. It was really nice to be able to run into people that could do the old parking lot picking thing. I mean, sometimes it gets really tough. You know?
So, do you make your living as a captain, as a musician, as a combination? Do you
Yes.
have to pick up side jobs?
Actually, right now I'm pretty much concentrating on the sailing and the music. That's between the two of them, I manage to keep body and soul together.
That's great.
That and my wife's salary as a New York State teacher.
That couldn't hurt.
No, don't hurt at all. My wife Donna teaches up in Monticello in the middle school up there. So there are times when the pickings are thin that Comes in real handy to have a wife that has a full-time job.
It's always interesting to know how a musician makes ends meet.
Well, I've done all kinds
Marry a
of
woman with a job.
There you go. Although that wasn't my intention, it just worked out that way. I've had all kinds of jobs. I've been a taxi cab driver, a golf caddy, a truck driver. Oh, I've done all kinds of things. I've taught sailing. I've been a teacher. So.
How did you get hooked on the music?
Oh. Well, I think it was in high school. A friend of mine was playing guitar, and he impressed the girls. That's what did it. That and the fact that my sister, I had taken guitar lessons when I was in grammar school, but I really didn't want to take guitar lessons. I wasn't interested at all. But then my sister went away to summer camp with a friend of hers. She took my guitar with her. She came back, and she could play a couple of chords, and she could actually play a couple of Donovan songs. And I decided, well, it's time to take my guitar back and learn some stuff. So I ran to this guy that was impressing the girls, and I said, teach me chords, man. Teach me some chords. So he taught me some chords, and we played a few gigs in some church basement coffee houses and things like that. And I liked it. I'd always been involved in theater and glee club and things like this, and this way I didn't have to wait around for all kinds of people to show up for rehearsal, and I didn't have to worry about whether or not the basses were on key or not, and it worked out pretty well. So I've pretty much been doing this since, about 1967 or so.
All right, well, you just gave away your approximate age there.
Well, it's 47 if you want to get it.
Now we're getting exact.
Yeah, I'll be 47 in July, actually.
So I bet some of them chords that he taught you are in this very next song that you're about to play.
Most likely. Most likely. Let's see.
Many of the same notes.
How much time have we got here, Ralph? We got time for one more or two more?
Oh, two more, definitely.
Oh, two more? This is this is a song that has its roots. Actually, this is the root song of Charlie on the MTA and Wreck of the Old 97, if you like country music. On a summer's day, when the waves were rippling on a smooth and a gentle breeze, a ship set sail with a cargo laden for a post beyond the sea. There were fond farewells, there were loving signals, as its form was still discerned. Though they did not know it was a solemn parting, for the ship, she never returned. No, she never returned. She never returned, and its fate is still unlearned. Though for years and years the fond ones waited for the ship that never returned, spoke the feeble lad to his anxious mother, I must go across the sea, for they say perchance in a foreign climate there is health and strength for me. It was a gleam of hope in a maze of peril, and her heart went out to her son. But she sent him off with a smile and a blessing on the ship that never returned. No, it never returned. It never returned, and its fate is still unlearned. Though for years and years The fond ones waited for the ship that never returned. Only one more trip, said the gallant seaman as he kissed his weeping wife. Only one more bag of that golden treasure, it will last us the rest of our life. Then I'll take my ease in a cozy cottage and enjoy all I have earned. But alas, poor man, he sailed as commander of the ship that never returned. No, it never returned, it never returned, and its fate is still unlearned. For years and years, the fond ones waited for the ship that never returned. No, it never returned, it never returned, and its fate is still unlearned. Though for years and years, the fond ones waited for the ship that never returned.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We should let folks know how to get in touch with Rick Nestler. There's a phone number that hopefully will magically appear on the screen there. Yes, it is 914-434-0340 if you want to find out about where Rick is going to be performing, how you can find out about his recordings and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
And this is an artifact of the long-playing vinyl record form.
Yep, yep. Back in the days when you didn't need a microscope to read the liner notes. It's for all those people who are retro-tech of equipment as well as attitude. So.
And I see, Rick, you come in a lot of different versions of facial hair configuration.
Well, yeah. I told you I'd had a job as a cab driver. The cab driver's in the middle there.
That's when you're a cab driver.
And then playing the country music over on the other side is the cowboy, and then opposite him is the sailor. They're all sitting around the bar having a drink. It was funny when a friend of mine was laying that out. A mutual friend of ours stopped by his house, and he had the album cover laid out with the 3 different characters, but he didn't have any writing on it. And this guy said, "Hey, Rick's got an album coming out, and you're doing the cover?" He goes, "Yep." He goes, "Who are those other guys? I didn't know Rick had some brothers."
Oh, it didn't fool me. I figured it out.
Yeah. It's all me, all me. That shoot only took 8 hours.
Is that all?
That's all. I started out clean shaven. By the time I was done, I had the full beard. That's how long it took.
Yeah. Only takes you 8 hours to grow a beard like that.
Right.
Okay, well, let's see. What do we got? We got another 6 minutes, 5 minutes to go here.
Okay. Well, I'll put it
4 minutes, they tell me.
4 minutes now. Okay, well, I'll put it to you this way. We'll do this quick. Would you like another Song of the Sea, or would you rather do a real hot picking number?
Okay.
It's up to you.
Bob would like to hear a picking number.
Okay.
Is this our jam session we worked out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the pre-planned jam. Well, I'm northbound on that long and lonesome train, good Lord. Northbound on that long lonesome train. Can't say why I have to go, I can only say that I'll miss you so, and I'm northbound on that long lonesome train. Well, leaving here is something, honey, that I've got to do. You know that leaving here is what I've got to do. I don't expect you to understand, just please believe I'm gonna be your man, though I'm northbound on that long lonesome train. I'm northbound on that long and lonesome train. Good Lord, yes, I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Can't say why I have to go, I can only say that I'll miss you so. And I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Well, I saw you at the station waving me goodbye. Yeah, I saw you waving me goodbye. Wanted to leave you with a smile, you just cried all the while. And I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Yeah, I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Good Lord, yes, I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Can't say why I have to go, only say that I'll miss you so. And I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Pick it, boy. Yeah, I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Good Lord, yes, I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Can't say why I have to go, I can only say that I'll miss you so. And I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Well, now there's lots of folks on this old train to keep me company. You know there's lots of folks to keep me company. They're not the ones I'm looking for. No, you're the one that means much more. And I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. And now I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Good Lord, yes, I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Can't say why I have to go, only say that I'll miss you so. And I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Let's pick it. Now leaving here is something, honey, that I've got to do. Yeah, now leaving here is what I've got to do. I don't expect you to understand, just please believe I won't be your man. I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. And now I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Good Lord, northbound on that long, lonesome train. Can't say why I have to go, only say that I'll miss you so. And I'm northbound on that long, lonesome, on that long, lonesome, on that long, lonesome train.
All right, Rick. We got Rick Nestler here on Horses Sing None of It. We'd like to thank you for being on the show.
Well,
And this show is an activity of the Folk Project, which is a non-profit corporation right here based in
oh wow,
Mendham, New Jersey.
I just made a deposit in the old Karma Bank.
I don't know what our time is. Maybe we should sing another verse of that. Stretch it out, says Bob. Public access television.
Long and lonesome train, good Lord. Northbound on that long, lonesome train. Can't say why I have to go, I can only say that I'll miss you so. And I'm northbound on that long, lonesome train. Well, now leaving here